institutions like WHO who have clearly stated that about 2.2 billion of the 8 billion people we have on the planet are suffering from some form of visual impairment. And they also stated in this record that a whopping 1 billion was actually preventable. Tell us exactly what optometry is about, like a brief overview of what it is technically. How would you explain what an optometrist really does?
Often get misunderstood with optometry with the opticians, right?
I guess we as the public are at fault here, even though we have the internet to search, but I mean, not a lot of us are actually going to search.
You know, I just want to clear this out. The optometry is not only about the prescribing the glasses. I know that most of the students, they are confused. Why they are confused? Because they are not having the clarity, and this clarity starts with the
What if everything you thought about optometry was only half the story? In this episode of Let's Figure It Out, we sit down with Dr. Soni Singh, a consultant optometrist and educator with a PhD in optometry and a rare blend of clinical and academic experience. She takes us inside the real day-to-day of optometric practice, where the work goes far beyond just prescribing glasses. We talk about what makes an optometry program worth your time, how to prepare for a career without burning out, and why not everything can be done through a screen. If you've ever wondered who really protects your vision and how to build a future in eye care that actually works, this is the episode to tune into. Thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me here.
It's honestly going to be our pleasure. I have a feeling. Okay, so to dive right into the questions, optometry today, a lot of people have this misconception that optometry is basically just about prescribing glasses, but at the end of the day, you find that this kind of course actually has a very huge public significance, mainly because you have institutions like WHO who have clearly stated that about 2.2 billion of the 8 billion people we have on the planet are suffering from some form of visual impairment. And they also stated in this record that a whopping 1 billion was actually preventable, right? Now, you've had experience in two fields, which is the academic field as well as the clinical practice, right? Now, having such a unique perspective, how would you explain what an optometrist really does in a typical week, and why does this role actually matter in today's society?
Okay, so actually people often get misunderstood with optometry with the opticians, right? It's not only about the prescribing the glasses. It's way wider than this. Actually, the optometry, what they do, they diagnose, they treat, they give the therapy, all of it. You might have seen some of the optical shop. You might have gone over there also. And what they do, they just, take your specs and they help you out in the selecting the spectacles, and the people think this is what the optometrists do, but actually it is not. This is the work of the optician. What optometrists do, they do take care of the glaucoma, they do take care of the diabetic retinopathy, they do care of many of the conditions, ocular condition, and they also prescribing the glasses. Actually, it is a part of job, but it's not the only job which we do. We have so many things to do. Even in the abroad, there are wider range of the optometrists, what they are doing. They are doing so well in the research, they are doing so well in the clinic, they are doing so well in the academic also. But in India, actually, I accept the fact that the number of people, they are not aware about what optometry is. So, I just want to clear this out. The optometry is not only about the prescribing the glasses.
But, okay, fine. So I guess we as the public are at fault here, even though we have the internet to search, but I mean, not a lot of us are actually going to search. So you being an expert, and since you clearly have a grievance against the misconceptions we have, could you as an expert kind of like tell us exactly what optometry is about, like a brief overview of what it is technically?
See, first, I would want everybody, those who are having confusion in optometry, they should go to the Google first and to search. When you type optometry now, the wide range of variety will come out, right? That optometrists, if I'll talk about the career perspective also, it's not just optometry can only work in a clinic with the doctors. No, they can open their own clinic as well. It's a very independent career.
Yeah.
It's a very independent course. So you can open your own clinic, contact lens clinic, low vision clinic, vision therapist clinic. And I'll talk about the India. So we can take two groups, okay? So one, I'll take the southern part of the India. One, I'll take the northern part of the India. When you go to the southern part of India, there the optometrists are blooming like anything. When you go to the northern part of India, the people are not aware about the course. They're not blooming. Why? Because nobody takes this profession seriously. When you go to the southern part, I was working in Netradham Eye Hospital in Bangalore, and I have seen how optometrists are doing everything, and the surgeon and everybody, they come to them and they ask several things, what we should do in this case, we should do in the. So optometry, they take vision, they do refraction, they do all the diagnosis things, they do give the vision therapy, they do give the low vision devices, prescription, everything they do. But when you come to the northern part of India, here I can see the people are not much aware about the courses, the kind of work we are doing. So this is what happens. So again, if you go to the rural part, if you go to the urban part. So again, if you go to the urban part, the most of the people, they are more into the laptop work, right? They are working on the laptop for a prolonged period of time. And I don't know if you guys are having this, you will be having this intent of, rubbing your eye.
Okay.
Okay. This is called dry eye syndrome, right? You might not be knowing about this, but we know. So when you go to the clinic, now the optometrist is the one who gives the advices for the dry eye syndrome, right?
Okay.
Not doctors, not the ophthalmologists, just us who give the advices and who give the exercises and all the things.
Well, since you're an expert in this particular field, there's something I've heard of often, especially on the internet. Actually, forget about the internet, your phones. When we get our phones, there's this thing we often see, which is called the blue light filter or something of that nature. Could you kind of explain to us what that is?
Actually, yeah. So when you work on a system or a phone or any devices, this blue light actually irritates your eye. Okay, so it gives you this irritation, burning sensation, as well as this itchiness. Intent of itching your eye. So what we do, we tell all the patient or the person or the subject who comes to us, please use that blue cut glasses.
Okay.
So blue cut glasses, what it does, it not allow blue light to enter your eye.
Eyes,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what about the blue light and all
but what is the blue light exactly? Because we keep on hearing the term, but what exactly is it?
It goes to your light, okay, it will flash to your eye and it gives that kind of irritation. If I'll show you the blue light constantly, you'll get irritated. Okay, have you seen any of the billboard and anything? If they have the blue light and you see the constantly, you'll be having this irritation and constant fatigue and all this thing. To prevent you from all this fatigue and irritation, we give this blue cut light. That is also called the ARC coating glasses. That is anti-reflecting coating glasses.
Okay. So should we, as a general population, just get them? Get them as part of our everyday use, or is it for a specific time when our eyes have degraded, or can we just get it in order to kind of prevent whatever effects the blue light has?
See, blue light majorly affects the person who uses the laptop or the screen. Okay. Probably the new generation, because they are more into the screen time. Their screen time is very 8 hours, 9 hours, and they use phone like anything. So for them, we prescribe this blue light. The people who are working in the farms, we won't prescribe. We would not prescribe this blue cut glasses because they don't need it. Okay, they will not be having this irritation and fatigue, and they might be having the allergies because they are working in the farms and all these things. So because of the pollen grains, because of the heat, they might get the allergies and the irritation and the ulcer and infections, but not this.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm going to get myself a pair of those. But then moving on.
You have to, you must.
Yeah, I think, I'm in front of these electronics a lot. So I'm assuming, yes, it might become a need in my wish list. Okay, so moving on. During the pandemic, we kind of saw the explosion of teleoptometry, right? So some of these tasks worked fine online, while there were other parts or other aspects of this task that clearly needed this in-person visit. But then from your perspective, what parts of eye care can safely be done remotely, and where do you think new graduates should be careful about drawing this line?
Okay, so if I'll talk about the teleoptometry goes parallelly with the optometry. Okay, so what we do in the teleoptometry, for example, you have taken the name of pandemic. So in pandemic, nobody was going out, right? Everybody was like very scared, and all these things were happening. So teleoptometry helps in the screening of the eye. Okay, so what we can do, what I'll explain what screening is. For example, I want to do screening on the students, like children's. Okay, so I'll take one school and I'll go and I'll take their visual acuity, and I'll do the refraction and everything. This is what the screening is. Okay, we are not asking the patient to come to our clinic. We are not taking them for the surgery or anything. We are just going, we are doing the screening. So teleoptometry actually helps in the optometry when it comes to the screening and the diagnosis part.
Okay, fair enough. Now, the careers in optometry, you've already explained, is like a very huge field. And they no longer like follow just one path, right?
Yeah.
And people are basically now beginning to combine clinical practice with teaching and research, low vision services, and even industry roles. So if a final year student asks you to, or how to plan for the next 5 years so that they can grow without burning out, what advice would you give them?
I often get this question from the students. Okay, first year they're not much aware. Second year they develop their interest. In third year they're lost, and fourth year they're completely lost. Okay, so they come to us and they'll ask me, ma'am, what should we do next? Because they are confused. Shall we go for the clinic for work? Shall we go for the master? Shall we go for the research and all this thing? It's up to the student. Okay, what kind of interest they have. If they are having an interest in the research, they should go to the research. If they are having an interest in the teaching, they should pursue masters and PhD, and then they can join the academics. If they are having an interest in the clinic, even clinic have a numbers of variety. So clinics like a contact lens clinic, like a vision therapy clinics, like a low vision clinics, like something else also. Okay, so there are wide variety of this, right? So if they are interested in contact lenses, they can go for the contact lenses. They can build their own contact lens clinic, and then they can run independently. If they are interested in academics, they can pursue master, they can pursue PhD, or they can join the academics. If they are interested in research, in research in India, out of India, they are having a very, very huge career in research and very good career in research. So they can join research also. If they are interested to, okay, now I have to work in some clinic to get experience, they can join any of the hospital also. They are very, I can name like Center for Sight or the Netradhama, or you can do Sankar Netralaya. These are the most, famous institute and the hospital in India. They can join that also. They can pursue fellowship. For example, they have done the internship and they want to get, like, they are interested in one topic or the one subject, for example contact lenses, for example low vision, for example ocular disease. So they can pursue a fellowship also. There are 1 year, 18 months, 2 years fellowships are also, some of the institutes are offering. So they can go for their fellowship. They can, that's an additional degree which they can show in the resume, and they can get a certificate, and then they can run their clinic and whatever they want to.
Now, on this particular point, I have basically two questions that kind of like branch out. First, I recently heard about this laser eye clinic in Parul. Now, a lot of people, I've advised a lot of people, you should go and check it out or try it. But personally, I have no experience with it. But some of the apprehension that a lot of people had were kind of like, they don't really understand that. But I'm assuming this falls under optometry, so the laser eye surgery of a thing. Lasik, if I'm not mistaken.
Lasik, yeah.
How exactly does that work, and how can we dispel the fear most of the students or any potential person might have, especially in that kind of a surgery? Because, I mean, throughout our childhood, the movies we've been watching, lasers cut through. Now you're telling me go under a laser and have it directly go in your eye. So it's like, okay, which is it? Is it going to have the movie effect, or is there an actual treatment effect it has.
Okay. So let's put it this way. So first I'll talk about the optometry and ophthalmology. Okay. So ophthalmology is a branch where the optometry is a sub branch of ophthalmology, you can say. Okay. How many, like, I'm assuming that you're aware about the physiotherapy, right?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
so you know the physiotherapy and what they do. They work with the patient with exercises. They help the patient, they cure the patient with the exercises, right?
Yeah.
So again, the physiotherapy is a sub branch of orthopedics. Same, the optometry is a sub branch of ophthalmology. So ophthalmologists are the doctors who have done MBBS, who have done MD, and they do surgery. Our part, we don't do surgery. Okay. What we do, the pre-surgery workup we do, the post-surgery workup we do, and we assist the surgery as well. When it comes to your Lasik work, so Lasik is a kind of surgery where we do for the refractive errors. Like you must have heard about the myopia and hypermetropia. Okay. Those person who are wearing a very thick glasses and they're sick of it. So to get rid of that glasses, we prescribe LASIK, and the LASIK have some criteria. So we cannot do LASIK on the 15-year-old child because their number, they keep changing. So once the number is stable, okay, then only we can go for the LASIK surgery. Okay, and it's a surgery where we're thinning the cornea. There's a different topic. It's a very wide topic. Will not get into that. But overall, the LASIK is a surgery which we do for the refractive error. Most of the people are wearing glasses. Some of them are having myopia. Some of them are having hypermetropia. So, and some like above 40 years old, they are using the glasses for the near vision. You might have seen the 50-year-old patient who, when they are not wearing the glasses, they read paper like this.
Yeah.
Okay, they cannot
Yes.
see, they cannot read like this. They have to read like this. Why? Because they are having this age-related condition which is called the presbyopia. So presbyopia is another thing. It's not comes under a refractive error. Refractive error is myopia, astigmatism, and the hypermetropia. For those kind of refractive error, we do the LASIK surgery. We prescribe this. Yeah, and pre-workup done by optometrist, post-workup done by optometrist. This is what.
Okay, but then what is the safety level of a LASIK surgery? Because
It's
I think
100% safe.
100%
I would say
safe.
1000% safe.
1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, like I said, we grew up watching lasers cut through things. So I think what we're going to do with this particular topic is we can just create another session, a completely different session, because I think a lot of people, I have a personal friend who...
It's hardly 10-minute surgery.
It's
Hardly
10
Yeah,
minutes.
the
It's
surgery,
less.
the time of the surgery is just 10 minutes. The procedure might take 1 hour or 2 hours. The surgery is just for 10 to 15 minutes, not more than this. And it's very safe.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, I'll ask you one question.
Yeah.
Would you rather want to wear a thick glasses or go for the surgery? Tell me.
I mean, considering the fact that we're in a generation that fashion matters a lot,
Yeah.
I doubt anyone wants to wear like thick glasses. It doesn't
Exactly,
fit their
exactly,
aesthetics. So yeah. But now that makes me curious about you specifically. Earlier you had mentioned that a lot of your students come to you a bit confused about what they are going to do in the future, especially considering the course they're doing. But at the end of the day, I think we are currently in a generation where a lot of people either copy or don't really have a very defined path, right? So this is kind of like more of a personal question in which I would like to know how you came to the conclusion that, okay, this is what I want to pursue and this is how I want to direct my steps. Is it through mentorship, or is there a specific meditation method you used, or was there yoga involved? What exactly helped you like get to a place where you decided that, yes, this is the path I'm going to take, and to reach this particular path, I'm going to take this many steps?
Okay, let's be honest. The yoga, meditation, it doesn't work. At least for me, it doesn't work. Okay. So I know that most of the students, they are confused. Why they are confused? Because they are not having that clarity, and this clarity starts with the family. Even when the family comes for the admission, even the family are not having those clarity. Ki what should they do next? What is the career of optometry? That somebody has told, just go and do the optometry, just go and do the physiotherapy, and they are the following the same thing which you have said. The people are just copying each other. Okay, now this is in the market, we have to do this, but actually it's not. When you are interested in the particular course, I think if it comes to career, you have to be very, very specific about it. It's just not, okay, you are doing this, so I'll be also copying you or
Yeah.
following you. It's just what kind of interest I'm having. I might be having interest in the literature, so why would I go for the optometry? I will go for the literature, right? So a student who comes to me, they are very potential student. I'll be very honest. They are very potential, very intelligent. They are very, wise student. But the confusion, it starts when the surrounding, they start confusing them. Okay, what is your work? Okay, what you are going to do? Are you going to open an optical store? Are you going to join a clinic? And within the process, they couldn't understand what should they do next, because the people around them, they're hollowing and they're saying those things, right? So again, the student should identify where are they interested, whether they are interested in the optical shop to start off, because many of the families are having this family business, like optical family business. So some of the students, they can join also. There's nothing bad about it if they're good in it. We can see optometrists in two ways. First is like a career, where you can go for the job, and second is the business. The business is completely about the open your clinic, open your optical shop, and build money and all this thing. Second, when you are interested in the research or the clinics, research or in the academics, you should go there. These two paths will take time. Okay. After internship, you can go and you can open your clinic, and you can go and you can open your optical store. But when you want to get into the academics, it will take time, because it needs qualification and the degrees, right? So when you want to be an assistant professor, you want to be an associate professor, or you want to be HOD, you have to do your bachelor's, master's, PhD. Okay. Again, when you want to go for the research also, it will take time, right? So this is the 2-3 things which students should have a clarity. If they are not having a clarity, we are here to help them out.
Okay. I'll be very honest with you, ma'am. It's been an absolute pleasure having this particular session with you. And I'm honest, there's so many questions I have towards your specific course, and I'm hoping we can cover them over a period of time in different episodes. So again, thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you here again next time.
Sure. Thank you so much.